Okay, so the last portion here that I want, just some things I want to bring up that you're going to come across. So sometimes you're going to have ions that are in your salt solutions that could actually go in one or two ways. So if you recall, something that's amphiprotic or amphoteric is an ion that could, or a substance that could behave as an acid or a base. So sometimes you're going to have an ion in your solution that can do this. So for example, here we have sodium bicarbonate, which creates sodium ions which have no impact. But the bicarbonate ion actually has the ability to either donate or accept a hydrogen ion. So here we have bicarbonate where it is doing the donating, so it's behaving like an acid, creating hydronium. And then we also have the possibility of gaining a hydrogen to create a basic solution, right, behaving like a base. So in this case, you would actually treat this in the same way that you would if you had two ions in solution. So meaning you'd have to compare the Ka value for this to the Kb value of this reaction. Whichever one is giving you a higher amount of product, so whichever number is bigger, will indicate which one has the more product there. So if let's say my Ka value is bigger than my Kb, I know it's going to be acidic. So we would be going with this reaction. Okay, so how are you going to know if something is amphiprotic, right? So first of all, for something to be behaving like an acid, it has to have a hydrogen to give away, right? So if there's no hydrogen, it can't be an acid. So that's one case. For something to behave as both, that means it should also have a charge that's showing that it can also add in a hydrogen. So for example, -1 is indicating we can add in one more proton, right? Or if this was -2, we can add in a proton. We could add in 2 protons. So it has to have the ability of both giving away and accepting a hydrogen. And the very last part here, this is kind of stepping away from the salt solutions. It's a little bit different, I should say. These are when you're dealing with oxide compounds. So meaning you have a compound or a molecule where you have oxygen and you're incorporating it into water. So there's two scenarios. You can have a non-metal oxygen compound, for example, sulfur trioxide. It could be nitrogen dioxide, anything that has a non-metal with oxygen, right? Even like carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, nitrogen dioxide. Like as long as if it's a non-metal with oxygen, and of course it has to be a neutral compound, it will create an acidic solution. Okay, I will not ask you to write out these reactions, but if I told you we had SO3 in water, you should be able to tell me that it's acidic because we have a non-metal oxide present. Okay, and then what if we had a metal oxide? So here we have sodium oxide or any metal, right, with oxygen. When it reacts with water, it will actually create a hydroxide component. So this would create a basic solution. And it doesn't matter what the metal is, metal oxides create basic solutions. So again, you won't be expected to write out this reaction. You should be aware, though, if I give you a compound, what type of solution that it would create.